Hello everyone and welcome. BogartWilley here. I'm gonna need you to go fuck yourself. Okay. Alright.
Okay. So, this is not a video I wanted to make, or I was asked to make. It's one that I apparently need to make, because it's 2023, and people are still thinking this is 1996. PCs are infinitely more powerful than you think they are. Say this with me. This year's top end is next year's mid-range. Next year's mid-range is the year after that's low end. Okay? That means that 9900K, which was funny enough slower than the 7700K, that's just the way it works for reasons. That's not something that you absolutely need anymore. Okay? Excuse me, I'm having a sniffle attack here, but I am going to just go through a run through real quick of things that you need to pay attention to when you're building a computer and things you need to ignore, because people seem to have this weird stigma that everything has to be the absolute most top end, and that's not how it is. Okay? I just made a video a few days ago that I have a nearly 20-year-old system running Windows 11. How? Because I can. Okay? Because it's compatible. Now, this right here, we're gonna go, we're gonna make a, I don't know, can I add it to cart without logging in? Okay. Now, 750 watt, I would say, depending on your parts, that's probably fine. $70, that's too much. Why? And you only get a 2-year warranty. Shut up. Shut up. 750 watt, and it doesn't even say that it's gold rated or anything. It's not 80 plus certified. Don't buy this, okay? I don't care how cheap it is. Just don't buy it. If it is not at least an 80 plus, matter of fact, let's just go through the whole shebang here. If your shit is not at least 80 plus silver, don't buy it. Okay? There's two reasons for this. Number one, 80 plus silver, 15% of the power that you push through this thing is going out into your room as heat. 15% of the power that you pay for on your bill is not being put towards powering your system. Okay, the titanium one, that's just like, oh my god, why would you even spend that much? Because it's just, it's pointless. Anyway. Now, another thing that you need to be aware of with power supplies specifically. Two things. One, well, three things. One, just because it says 750 watts does not mean that's what you're going to be pushing. This power supply is only going to pump out as much, oh, it's hard to talk already. It's only going to pump out as much power as is required by your system to run at any given time. If your system only requires 182 watts, that's all it's going to pull. Okay? Second, the way that these caps work, you need to understand that 50% more than what you're pulling is what your baseline should be for maximum efficiency. If you go above that, let's say you have a 700 watt power supply and you're pulling 580 watts, your power supply is going to be working really hard, and it's going to be using more power than is necessary, which is going to cost you more on your bill than if you would have bought, say, a 1200 watt power supply. Okay, and on the same flip of the coin, that power supply, if you're running it, say 70-80% of what its max capacity is all the time, it's gonna burn out faster. Okay, that's just the way it is. So also keep in mind your amps on your rails. I'm not gonna go into that right now. I'm entirely too lazy. I just woke up. I don't care. Okay. Now, see this one here. Oh, there's another thing. Semi-modular. Don't pay for a modular power supply, people. Buy a semi-modular power supply. What's the difference? The absolutely required cable that has to be plugged in to use it. That's what you're paying nearly double for to be removable. Okay? Don't do that. Now, let's do this for real. Sort by lowest price. And let's get okay, out of these particular brands here, EVGA, Corsair, Thermaltake, Cooler Master, I would only trust EVGA, Corsair, and Cooler Master. Okay, but EVGA, they charge a premium. Corsair, they charge a premium. Let's go with Cooler Master. So, okay, right here. See, this I would actually pay a premium for. It's 800 watts, it's gold efficiency, and it has a 5-year warranty. Cooler Master is, for the most part, pretty good about their warranties. If it breaks, send it back. Also, you notice it says 750 watts, so they probably lied. See, does it say? Okay, in all honesty, oh, hold up, there was a 1-star review. Okay, this dude probably got a bad batch. Alright. So let's say that wasn't a bad batch. Let's say that Cooler Master is terrible. Okay? Be quiet. I don't know why everyone is absolutely obsessed with absolutely silent machines. It was a thing like 30 years ago, but like why? Why? First of all, you've got your headphones, you've got all the other nonsense going on around you. Why? Just why? Why are you paying double so you can have like a half of a decibel less air and noise going on in your room? Why? It makes no sense. Now, some people might not have heard of Apivia. Apivia actually makes a lot of the stuff from other companies, top brands that you guys see. Okay? So, like, this one right here, it probably looks familiar to you guys because another top brand actually has the exact same supply. Okay? It's literally just rebranded. But also, I would not buy this because it doesn't have even a white. There we go. It doesn't even have the standard white. So why would we buy that? We wouldn't. Let's see. Really? Really? See, now right here, boom, Gold Plus certified 800 watts. What's the warranty? Let's find out. Three-year warranty, people. There you go. There's your power supply. And monkey jump out your ass with that shit. We're gonna remove the other one. No, fuck off. Delete. Okay, we've got our power supply. Now, motherboard. What's the difference? Hold on, sexy mama. Now, you need to understand, one, if you're going Intel, you're either buying all used parts to begin with, or you're going Windows 11, or you're going with some super backwater thing that even I wouldn't even probably attempt, which would be like Windows 10 with paying for Project Lasso, and every single thing that you run, you're going to have to run Alt-Tab out and then permanently set in Project Lasso to work on specific cores, whether your performance core, efficiency core. Don't do that. Just go AMD. They've got more stuff going for them anyway. Number one, you can use whatever you want as far as operating system. Okay, they're all big cores. Better power efficiency. Just they're going with the OG way of doing things, okay? It's just smarter that way. You have less headaches. Now, in another video, I'll probably do an Intel build too, but just whatever. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, yes, chipset. Need to clear this up too, because people apparently can't figure this out. Okay, let's go with this chipset. Now, you don't need an X series chipset. You don't need it. If you're just gaming, even if you're streaming the games on the same system, you don't need that, okay? You just don't. Why? Because what's the difference between an X series and a B series chipset? The amount of SATA ports, USB ports, and PCI Express lanes. What's PCI Express used for most people? Your video card. Okay? Let me tell you a secret about PCI Express lanes. And this goes all the way back to like AMD's FX, okay? Even DSP's old ancient dinosaur of a computer, this applies to, okay? We don't even use the full extent of PCIe 2.0 times 16. Why? I'll tell you why. Because every generation of PCI Express doubles per lane the amount of data that can be transferred. Which means, and as funny enough, I'm not gonna track down the video for you guys, but Gamers Nexus actually proved this in a video a few years ago. When you do PCI Express, okay, you actually double it. So PCI Express 2 times 16 is the same as PCI Express 3 times 8 is the same as PCI Express 4 times 4. So when you do that math, you realize that those little NVMe hard drives, let's just bring it up. Let's just bring it up. You realize that these tiny little things right here use the same amount of PCIe bandwidth as your, what's the god tier, RTX 4090 Ti Super Go Tanks Edition. It's the same amount of bandwidth, people. It's the same. So, gonna need a chipset. No, we're gonna go B. And technically, 99% of people could technically go with an H chipset or an A chipset. Okay, you don't need the B chipset. You don't need the Z chipset. You don't need the X chipset. Stop going for absolute bleeding edge. There's no point. Like right here. What's the difference? You have the differences laid out right here, people. What's the difference? Your chipset is slightly slower. Okay. PCIe, slightly slower. With the X chipset, you have the option to make them NVMe or SATA. Is what it is. Yeah, just look at the graphs, people. If you don't know what this stuff means, ask somebody. Matter of fact, ask multiple people. Because 95% of these people on the internet don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm going to be real. USB 10 gigabit per second. Who uses that? Who uses that, really? Are you using an 8K 120 FPS webcam to do your makeup every morning? Why do you need that? Why? Tell me why. Comment down below. Tell me why you need 10 gigabit per second. I don't even use that, people. Now, you're seeing these crazy... Hold up. Yes, I know I have 17 cents in my account. You see these crazy high expensive motherboards? Don't pay attention to that. We're going to do it like before. Low to high. Boom. There you go. Now you're going to say that's a B450. Okay, fine. $450. A520. Now, personally, I would not use this because it does not have the things that I want, but it does have some advantages over my board. Like, smaller form factor. Even though I would see that personally, for my personal use, as a bad thing, fact is, you're going to get faster memory speeds than I am. You're going to get faster data transfers than I am. Physical size matters. Like, this is actually the max version of my board. Or wait. I have the X470 non-max. But it's basically the same board. And this board sucks, by the way. Don't buy this. Like, unless you're... If you are a top-end content creator, do not buy this board. Let's put it that way. Now, right here. Actually, we're going to go with this one. And I know some people are going to say something like, oh, I don't like MSI. let me tell you a little secret about literally every single motherboard manufacturer. The AMD side and the NVIDIA, or the AMD side and the Intel side are completely different engineers. It's just a brand name. They're not even close to the same. See, you actually get a heatsink here. You also get a heatsink for your NVMe for those people that use it. You get Wi-Fi. I see that personally for myself as a bad thing, but you get Wi-Fi, dude. If you're a streamer, don't use Wi-Fi. Except Wi-Fi is a good thing if you're a streamer. You know why? I don't have it installed right now, so I can't show you, but XSplit VCam requires that you be on the same Wi-Fi network. It's the best way to do green screen if you don't have an actual green screen. Okay? These are all things you need to worry about when you build your system. You need to think about this stuff all from the top. So, now, I said we were going to go with that one. So, we're going to go with this one. Screw it. Now, this is a micro ATX. And just for the hell of it, let's go with this. Now, here's another thing that I would not accept, but 99.999999999% of people are going to be like, oh, that's so great. Okay? I would not take any of these cases. None of them. You know why? Where's your fan? I don't want this. I don't want this garbage. Where's your CD drives? Now, 99% of these people, like I said, aren't going to care about that. So we're going to go with this case. Okay? Assuming it meets my everyday standards. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you 99% of people would say this case is great. I'm going to say, even if it met my other standards, see how the ports are on the side right here? Over time, that's going to destroy your cables, dude. Screw that case. Okay. Now here's another thing, another misconception. One USB 3.0 port. Okay, that's great. Two USB 2.0 ports. That's better. 99.99% of shit still uses USB 2.0. And 5 years from now, it's going to be the same. Bottom mount power supply, back in the day, that was like super rare and thought of as godsend. Now you can see from this image that this particular case fits a fairly large, that's a Strix edition, but what is it? Okay, don't care enough to find out, but it fits a Strix edition, and that's a pretty beefy GPU. Okay, so there you go. There's your, you know what? Just because bigger is better. How much is the ATX? 88. Okay, let's just go with that because bigger is better. Now look, what do we need now? All that we have left to build a full system, and I'm actually going to add one more item to this. We need RAM and a CPU. That's it, guys. Now, or no, a GPU as well. But don't worry. There's a reason I said DDR2666. Most of the time, and if you don't believe me, you can feel free to sift through the gazillions of hours of Buildzoid videos out there. But 99% of the time, when you buy DDR2666, you can overclock it to 3200 without a problem. Okay? When they have people build this shit, they build for one thing in particular, and then when they test it and it doesn't meet their standards for what the speed that they're trying to get, they just bin it down below and then they sell it as another product. And honestly, for those people that are buying Corsair RAM, why? That's what I want to know. Why? Why are you paying that premium? Like this. 2 8GB sticks, $50. 2 16GB sticks, $70. They're the same thing, guys. It doesn't matter what the, like here, it's Crucial, Corsair, what's another one? Kingston, Patriot. They all get their RAM chips from the same 3 places, guys. Stop worrying about the brand name. Here you go, $70. Boom. Now you got more RAM than the other guy. 8 years from now, you're going to be looking at the next Street Fighter that comes out, and you're going to be saying, psh, that recommended specs is garbage, because you already got 32. Six cores, 12 threads. That's all you need for a while, guys. And it's not like you can't upgrade this later. Let's say you're a content creator. Buy the 5900X, not the 5950X. I'll tell you why. 1, better thermals. 2, more RAM, or not RAM, more cache accessible to all cores at all times. How long is it going to be before 16 cores is the standard? It's going to be a while, guys. We still got people thinking that 4 cores and 8 threads is godlike. What are you doing? That's 20 years ago, bro. I think I added 2 of them to cart, didn't I? Okay, I'm gonna delete that just because that is more. Another thing, you have to ask yourself, do you need PhysX? Are you one of the 3 people on the planet that plays the Arkham games, like, religiously? And do you play Borderlands all day? If the answer is no, then you don't need an NVIDIA card. I would say this is actually really expensive, but we're just gonna go with that. Now, what can we shave off here, guys? A lot of people are going to say the GPU. Okay. And for those that don't know, of the AMD stuff specifically, XFX is the best brand when it comes to customer service. I think they discontinued this warranty plan some time ago, but when I bought my XFX card, it had a double lifetime warranty. So it wasn't just a lifetime warranty, it was even if you sold it, the other person got a lifetime warranty on it. Now we're going to delete this. Now, you're going to say, oh, RX 6600, that's low end. No, it's not. No, it's not, dude. This is equivalent to like, oh, let's just look it up. Okay, so it's a little slower than a 1080 Ti, which is funny enough faster than a 2080 Ti. You know why? Because the damn near the same exact fucking chip. Only difference is one of them has beta version of ray tracing and is underpowered as shit. I actually have a 1080 Ti, not Founders Edition, but I have a 1080 Ti that's been broken and dying and is literally like withering away as we speak. And you know what? I game, record, and stream at 4K in it. This stuff is more powerful than you guys think it is. And look, you have to ask yourself, over 100 FPS, over 100 FPS, over 200 FPS, 120 FPS. Is this unplayable, guys? Ask yourself that. Is that unplayable? Because I don't think it is. I think that's perfectly playable. Let me know in the comments down below if you want a frames video. I've been teasing that for a couple of years, but the last couple of days I've been randomly doing PC videos explaining shit, so fuck it. Why not, right? In fact, that's what this is. And I think it's done. Okay, cool. So yeah, PCs aren't that expensive, but just for the hell of it, let's start over. Let's say, delete this, delete this. We're gonna delete that. Let's say you're going current gen. Okay. For the people that are wondering, and I've had people ask me this, what's the E stand for? The E stands for extreme. What's it mean? It means they put 2 chipsets on the board. Don't buy that, okay? I will probably not even buy that when I buy my new system, okay? Something like, and you're going to notice that all of these are very, very expensive boards. Well, there's a reason for that. Number one, PCIe 5, okay? Very, very expensive. More expensive than you probably think it is. Another thing, this shit has onboard Wi-Fi, dude. That shit ain't cheap, my guy. HDMI. BIOS flashback is mandatory. SPDIF. That's for like high-end like Bose and Clippage systems for your home theater system. And you've got, okay, and here's another thing. We're just going to run through this. You notice the USB 2.0, the black ports. One's right here. Why is this one outlined unlike the rest? I'll tell you why. That's the one you use to flash your BIOS when you don't have a CPU installed. 2.5 gig LAN. That's expensive, man. And it looks like... Yes, okay. So these two ports are 5 gigabit a second. This one's 10 gigabit a second. Gigabyte, I'm sorry. And these are 5. Then you've got your gold-plated, your they used to call it anti-corrosive ports. They're gold-plated, they're harder to corrode. Okay, don't let people tell you they're anti-corrosive. Now, let me tell you a little secret about these new Ryzen 7000 series. Say it. Does not. Okay. These actually have built-in GPUs. So, there's that. Matter of fact, let's go and verify on the website. Yeah. This actually has a GPU built in. You can game on this, guys. You might not be able to go 1080p, uber godlike time traveler quality, but you can game on this, people. For the hell of it, let's go.
I dropship.
Come on. Okay, before he even goes into anything here. He's gaming Half-Life 2 in 4K, right? On an iGPU. Now you're going to say, oh, that's like 19 years old, Bogart. Oh, is it though? Is it really? You realize that this is just the first version of the same exact engine that powers games like Half-Life 2, Half-Life Source, Counter-Strike Source. For the hell of it, let's bring it up. Okay. Source of Madness, I don't think that's a Source game. But okay, so they don't tell you by the engine. Well, even to this day, the few games that Valve releases, they're actually running on the same engine. Portal RTX just came out, right? Now you're gonna say, oh, that's just a mod of a older game. It's a mod that has RTX built into it. And by the way, you don't necessarily need an NVIDIA GPU to do that. Okay. So they're touting it that you need an NVIDIA GPU, but let me tell you a little secret. Oh shit. Sorry for the DSP bomb there, guys. Which shout out to Memeology there. What was I saying? This has ray tracing built into it, guys. This has hardware ray tracing. In fact, this is what the PS5 is using. The new Xbox. This is the same ray tracing that they're using. Why? Now we've got okay, so we need a I thought reinstalling would fix that, but apparently it's just my keyboard. No. Also, another thing, and this applies to the older generations as well. Don't buy the X version. Okay, there's no point to it. You're paying extra money. I see they lowered the price. It used to be $50. You're paying more money to essentially have the CPU overclock itself when it can. My question is, why? Now I know someone's going to say, oh, well, you can just overclock it yourself. Why? Why bother? It's going to do the same job. You're going to get the shit done 3 milliseconds faster. Why? What's the point? Why are you using all that extra power? Why are you shortening the lifespan of your CPU? Why? Just buy the regular version. It's cheaper. It's the exact same thing. No. Now, on to memory. Here's a little fun fact that they don't tell you about DDR5. DDR5 is not DDR4. I know, it's shocking. DDR5 has one memory channel per stick, which means do not buy 2 sticks like you would on any other system before. Get the one by itself. Again, if you think I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to hunt down the exact video for you. But go to the main man himself. Actually hardcore overclocking. Go to BuildZoid's channel. This man knows so fucking much. It's insane. And just like me, he will go and he will just do madman tests. He'll completely kill hardware just for the hell of it, just to see what happens. It's great. You guys should try it sometime. Okay. And also, this is the most godlike photo of what do you call it? A desktop image. I love it. But there's so much on the internet that you can go and research and discover this information. And there are two types, generally speaking. There's three types. There's three types of people that love hardware. Okay? There's dumbasses that Googled some shit for 5 seconds, watch 2 YouTube videos and think they're the shit. There's the gatekeepers. And then there's people who will love to teach you some shit. Okay, I don't know how long this video is, but 45, fuck me, god damn. Okay, we're done. Actually, no. Now, what can we shave off from this? Well, we can get a less fancy case. We can get a smaller hard drive. We can get a less powerful all right, here you go. Boom. Now, just because I already added it to cart, let's just go ahead and check. Now, with this, you will be limited. First of all, you're going to get 4 slots, which is good for some people and bad for others. With DDR5, I kind of question why you would need 4 slots, but I mean, I guess it's there for boomer type people like me that are like, more is better. You're going to get heat sinks, obviously, but you're only going to get 1 expansion slot. Unless you use the main slot here for your expansion, and you just use the iGPU. Also, I've had people ask me what this is. I think it should be pretty self-explanatory, but the reason that this slot is different color than this slot is because this slot has steel plating on it to make it support your heavy 4090 better. Let's see. 1, 2, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So, given how power efficient Ryzen 7000 is, this would actually probably be a decent motherboard. Although, in all honesty, I would not take my word for it. I would ask BuildZoid, because he's the swinging dick mofo when it comes to knowing what shit is good as far as motherboards. You have to sort of navigate his doublespeak sometimes, because oftentimes a motherboard will be super incredible for the average person and he'll say it's trash. Why? Because he doesn't like the BIOS. Because he spends a lot of time in his BIOS. Why? Because he's actually hardcore overclocking. Shocking, I know. He spends hours and hours and hours navigating these BIOS. So if the BIOS is not great, or if something is mislabeled or buried somewhere where it doesn't belong, he's going to give it a bad score for that. Most people are going to set their boot order, they're going to set their memory speed, they're going to save, and that's the last time they're ever going to go into the BIOS. So just know that if he says a motherboard is trash, you need to find out why. Another thing, he might say that a motherboard is good and I might say it's trash. This is why. He doesn't have a whole lot of USB, but I have a shit ton of USB. So it's like, if it doesn't have at least 4 USB 2.0 and at least 4 USB 3.0, I'm not buying it. That's just the way it is. Also, USB Type-C. He's probably going to ask why, and I'm going to say, because my phone can connect into that. Right? So it's just a lot of opinions, a lot of, do I want to connect the adapter thing to make my thing plug into the other thing? So all in all, I would say that this board is got how many ports? It looks like 4 ports for SATA. See, I would actually myself say no to this board because it only has 4 USB ports. It doesn't have the expansion slots that I want. But would I tell you someone like the average person, the average gamer, or even the average streamer, go ahead and get this board? Yes, I would. Because why not? 2.5 gig LAN, dude, I wish I had that shit. So let's okay. So now we got what? CPU, motherboard. Okay, that's it. Isn't it? Okay. Something else we can shave down on. We've got a micro ATX board. Why do we need this full ATX thing? I know it was me being bigger is better, but oh yeah. Don't buy this. Okay. Right here. All right. So this particular case, I would actually say, is probably pretty decent. It has fans that come with it. You don't have to buy your own. Remember that. That's important. You have a side cooling fan slot. It doesn't come pre-installed. You're going to have to buy it separate, but it's there. You don't have to drill your own holes. Look, it's got hella options. It actually tells you how long of a VGA card, how long of a video card you can put in there. 165 millimeter, that's actually pretty freaking big. You've got slots for hard drives, you've got slots for CDs, you've got slots for SSDs. Another hard drive down in the bottom. And actually it does in fact tell on itself here. Okay, it says ATX in the beginning, but not down here. Okay, so you can do mini ITX, mini micro ATX, or full ATX. Can't do eATX. Okay. So you have option. Wait a minute. Power supplies up top. This is kind of an old school case. But depending on how much heat you're putting out and what type of a video card design you have, that might be totally fine. Or you could just turn it upside down, you know, it's totally an option. Oh my God, that is old. Now, something you need to be aware of is old does not mean bad. I don't know who came up with this idea. Personally, I would not buy this case just because I don't like the way it looks. I would buy something else, but it's cheap. So if I was to replace my current case right now, I would probably buy something like this. Let's just add that to the cart. Now, what else can we shave off? Let's say you're not going full NVMe. Let's say you're afraid of the connector. You don't like the M.2 connector, whatever. Let's do that. There you go. Now, what can we take away from this? And let's, just for the hell of it, by the way, don't buy Seagate Barracudas. Don't buy Seagate. Okay. Now we're up over 700 again, but here's the point. We've got a CPU with a built-in GPU that you can add to later. Remember, if it has a built-in GPU, it could just be a stopgap. And again, gaming in 4K, because why the hell not? On that iGPU. You can do this. And I don't know if he goes through it in this video. Doesn't look like it necessarily, but if you like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, those have the Vulkan API, which is going to run even faster on this. Okay? You don't have to go through the horse shit that is DirectX. But that's neither here nor there. Point is, this has built-in GPU, and you can upgrade to a real GPU later. As a matter of fact, now look, we've got a complete system, complete with an external GPU and a spinning hard drive for your totally not hentai. Okay? We're still under $1,000, people. You take this away, boom. Take this away, boom. Now what do you got? Under 700. When you come on, when you add in tax and all that, that's probably gonna be about 700 bucks. Okay? Now, let's say you're really, really not trying to spend 700 bucks. Why do you need a case? Why? You can literally just set the motherboard up on its box. You don't need a case. Maybe you got pets or something, you need a case, or if you're really obsessed with how things look, you might need a case, but You don't need a case. Now, I'll bet you we get this under 600. Remember how we paid a little extra for that RAM earlier? Ew. That's not DDR5. Okay, let's just say that this is what we're going with. Okay. Can we shave some off the motherboard? Okay then. Amazon's gonna be like, "I fuck are you?" Okay. All right, even better. Now, since I talked about it earlier, let's go back to it. If I'm hurting for money that bad that I can't get the motherboard that I want with the 4 USB 2.0 and the 4 USB 3.0 and the 10 gig LAN, this isn't a bad option, because it's not like I can't just buy a USB hub later. You know what I'm saying? It actually has a BIOS flashback button. For the 3 people that don't know, that's what this is. Now this is a 2.5 gig LAN, I would say, judging by the color. It's got HDMI, DisplayPort, and an OG mouse keyboard. That's actually rare. I'm gonna give them big ups for that. 5-year warranty, dude. Holy shit. Let's go. Now we're under 600 bucks, guys. And in all honesty, this machine blows mine out of the water. The only thing that you could say my machine is possibly better at is the GPU, but let's be honest, my GPU is dying, and yeah, I break all my toys. Just ask every one of my exes ever. So $1,000 PC, guys, it's not real. It's not. You don't need that. You don't need that high-end stuff, guys. Like, I want to know who started this rumor that you need like thousands of dollars for this, because it's just not the case, you know. And this is bleeding edge stuff, guys. Like this machine here, I wish I had a Ryzen 7000 with a all the corners cut build. Like, Jeez. I suppose technically you could say I have a higher wattage power supply because mine's an 850, but who cares? I wish, dude. I freaking wish. Anyway, that's the video. Like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think. And remember, prices are constantly moving. They're always going up. They're always going down. We're in a bit of a renaissance right now. Here in, I don't know, 7 months, I think, some shit like that. Intel's going to release the 14th gen. If they haven't fucked it up again. I believe that one's going to be titled Meteor Lake. And speaking of Meteor Lake, if you want leaks, go to this dude. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're looking for leaks on. This guy's got the leaks, man. For real. Like, let's see. That might be interesting. Yeah, here we go. AMD Zen 4 X3D. Oh, dude, let's go. Let's go. Which I think those were actually either just announced or just released. Oop. Okay, they were just announced. They're not actually out yet. Or I'm on the wrong SKU. Either way, this generation here of the X3D is what I'm waiting to rebuild, like think about rebuilding my system with. When they can come out with this is the X3D, or more ideally, when they release another Threadripper, but they give it the X3D. I'm hearing they already have it on the Epic side of things. It's just like you've got to have an infinity symbol in your bank account to be able to afford one. Oh, let me get it. Let me get it. I want it. But anyway, that's the video. You don't need $1,000 for a PC, guys. Yeah, $700 sounds. It sounds pretty. Oh, $500. It sounds raunchy, but it's really not that bad. Especially when you think you can buy one part at a time, guys. You can assemble Ultron one piece at a time. You don't got to drop it all at once, you know? And I know someone's gonna argue, you know, you gotta buy a motherboard, CPU, and RAM, but the computer that I have right now, I assembled it one piece at a time. Granted, I had some help. I had excuse me. I had a hard drive already, but by the time I assembled all the rest of the pieces, the hard drive was dead and I had to buy a new one anyway. So there you go. Alright. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Tell me I'm an asshole. Do the thing.